Hello, I'm here, not as late as last time. Water. See the ice cubes? Water. Unlike many of you at home. So, the weather is going to get ugly tonight, and tomorrow morning sounds like it's going to rain really bad. But the weekend weather looks good. I checked it a little while ago, and it looks like it's going to be nice weather here in Southern California Saturday and Sunday. Local waters for Saturday looks like it's only going to be 5 knot winds, 5 to 10 knot winds with 2 to 3 foot swells. And then for Sunday, it was even less. It was only 5 knot winds. Let me see, what does it say here now? No, now it says Saturday, only 5 knot winds, 2 to 3 foot swells. And Sunday, 5 knots or less, 1 to 2 foot swells. So it's going to get nice here right after the storm. But you don't want to be out there tonight. And my friend Chris Randall just posted he's coming in from Hawaii. April. April. He's commercial fishing right now in the South Pacific. He was in outside there. I don't know how far out. He was out for a week, and he said they had pretty good fishing, but pretty big swells, some weather. He posted on his Facebook page some pictures of the swells. Didn't look all that nice. So Crappie Mike has rain. Hey Kevin. Kevin sent me a picture of what he was having for dinner. It was all Tommy burgers and fries, which I did not have. I just had chicken, plain chicken by itself. Hello, Leo, Brandon. And then I think we have our friend here from Florida, Zuzuba. Hello. Ken, hello. Oz, how you doing? Joe. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Jeff, do you have snow back there, or is it just cold? Because I know you're in Illinois. Rodney's here. Hey, Rodney. Lots of snow. Okay. Yeah, you're lucky it's pretty flat over there. You don't have all the, like here with the grapevines all locked down because the steep slopes and all that and the ice. But you guys on the East Coast, you're used to snow and weather. Everybody out here, nobody knows. Everybody panics when it's drizzling. Moss back. Hello, thank you. Hello, Gerald. There it is. Hey, Jeff, we're going to have nice weather here Saturday and Sunday. Sunday's going to be really nice. 5 knots or less off the beach and only 1 to 2 foot swells. I might even take my boat out Sunday. Yeah, yeah. Jeff was talking about how he told me the other day how they use a lot of salt out there. Every once in a while, I watch that TV show, The American Pickers, and they always talk about how when they're buying older cars, they like to find them out on the West Coast because they don't use salt here, and out there on the East Coast, they use salt for everything. So that's good. I guess nobody's been fishing with this weather. Everybody's a little nervous of the weather. I'm starting to get more phone calls about private charters, which is nice. I had quite a few phone calls and emails this week, and I'm surprised all the interest we are getting. We are getting for the Alaska trip and the East Cape trip. quite a few people on the East Cape trip. So that's neat to know. I was kind of surprised to see so many people, instantly, like right after the emails went out, people were getting on there. So that was cool. And I don't know if I told you guys, I just got picked up by another TV station in Hawaii, in Honolulu. It's going to be running us 5 days a week. 5 days a week in Honolulu. I'm already on there right now, I think 1 day a week on a different station, but now this new station is going to run me 5 days a week. So that's pretty cool. And another nice thing about the East Cape trip, the people that are commenting or sending emails aren't asking about coming by themselves. They're asking about bringing groups anywhere from 4 to 10 people. So that's nice to know. I was on the water yesterday, not very far on the water, but we got hired to shoot some boat bios, some videos on boats for the Gale Force and the Triton for their website. They wanted pictures, videos of their boat to show their customers when people are thinking about chartering the boat. They want to know what the boat looks like. So we filmed that up for them, and that was no problem. That was good. Let's see. Trying to find this other email for you guys. And I'll have to find it later. Oh, I was on Storage Wars last night. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched Storage Wars, but I'm in one episode, and it aired last night. I can always tell when it's airing because I get texts from friends and family that watch it. So it's cool. It was nice to see it. Nice to see that. All right, I can't find this thing. I'll have to look for it later. Let's see, any fishing questions? Fred says, congratulations. What did I do? Did I miss something? Oh, I guess you guys are talking about Hawaii. I'm sorry. I got my own little world and I forgot. Yeah, 5 days a week in Hawaii. Joe, thank you very much for your ticket. And Henry, have your ticket from Tuesday. So you're there because you bought your ticket after we had already picked the winner. And you can thank Jeff for that because Jeff mentioned that to me a while ago. That when people get people buy their ticket after we pick the winner, to add them to the next week, and that's what we did. So that's how you got on there. Okay. Yeah, more requests about Alaska. That's pretty cool. And then some of you guys were still asking about the link for OfferUp to see what I have for sale there. And there's that. There's a link for that. Tony, hi from Barstow, spent all day. Train derailment. Ooh, okay. Rocket Dog, your prize from Tuesday night went out today, Rocket Dog. So, excuse me. Thank you for sending me your address. Again, Jeff, you're flying out Saturday night. Where are you flying here? Are you going to Florida? Where are you off to? Brandon, do you have more information on the itinerary for Alaska? What would you like to know? Basically, Alaska is June 12th through the 16th. The price is $2,800 with 4 people on a boat. Includes all your food, your fish cleaning, the fish boxed up, your room. So all that's taken care of. The only thing it doesn't include is your alcohol. Um, so, but everything else is included. So I guess you could bring your own bottle if you want to, or something. I don't know. Guess I could find out. But that's basically it. It's a $500 deposit to reserve your room, your spot. So they have 2 lodges there. Uh, the main lodge is right there, and that's where all the meals and everything is, and where the boats are. And then they have another property that holds a lot more people 3 miles away. What's neat about if you do the 3 mile away place is if you want to go explore a little bit and drive around, if you want to go freshwater fishing, because it probably doesn't get dark till like 11 o'clock at night, um, then you'd want to stay in the other place because they throw a rental car in as part of your package. So you get used to a rental car, so you can drive back and forth to the lodge whenever you want. You want to go exploring, you can. If you want to go freshwater fishing in the rivers, you can. So it's kind of nice that you have your own car. Okay, so Jeff is going to Colonet Sunday, fishing Monday. All right, cool. That's why you're flying. All right, thanks. Now I understand. Okay, let me get caught up on the tickets here. Steven put me in the hat. All right, Steven, you're going in the hat. Steven, here's your ticket. Boom. You're in the hat. See, what's Kevin's question? Does Dan Salas still have anything to do? No, Dan Salas has nothing to do with the Gale Force and Triton other than he now owns the landing where those boats run out of. He got the lease from the city um, to take over the landing a little while ago, but he doesn't really, he didn't do it for the fishing boats. He did it, I'm pretty sure, so he could get his whale watching and his harbor cruise boats in there. And he's got those really nice big whale watching boats. So yeah, he's making all his money doing that. He's not in fishing at all anymore. Sure, he goes fishing for fun. He has a little boat, but the sport fishing stuff, he doesn't do that anymore. Getting bit with bow, what fish? What is a fish you have caught and eaten that you would never do again? Um, that's a good one. I don't know that I would never do it again, but if I'm rock fishing and I have a choice between a vermilion or a whitefish and a salmon grouper, the salmon grouper would be the last one I'd want to eat. If I was hungry, nothing else to eat, I would do that. So, but yeah, I don't think there's anything that I've ever eaten that I wouldn't want to eat again. Especially when it's fresh, it's always pretty good. Let's see. Brandon says, buddy, you're thinking of kayak and paddleboard. Okay. Rodney, did I score any? Did you score anything good on Storage Wars? Yeah, Daryl, who I've known for a long time, back when he was manager of a tackle store down in North San Diego County, he had like $10,000 in tackle. And when I first went through the tackle, I was really worried that maybe it was stolen because there was so much tackle and so much in boxes and stuff. But as I went through it and opened up all the containers and stuff, there was receipts. So there was receipts that from the guy when he bought them way back in the 80s and 90s and stuff of some of the gear. And some of it was from the 2000s, but there was a lot of like pin 4.0s and 6.0s, some Shimano's and stuff. So, April, you okay? What are you bouncing around for? Everybody likes seeing you. You can hang out. You don't have to go anywhere. Okay. So James says a perch and pismo is good. That's good. I only fished from the pier that time, so I need to go back up there and when it's warmer, get in the water. What's Dante's question? Dante, what's the farthest south location you've ever fished in the world? It would probably be Zimbabwe in the Zambezi River. I caught a couple of tigerfish there. On the Pacific side, the most south I've been fishing is Venezuela. Um, I've fished there, and then I fished with your dad a lot in Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Guatemala, all that. And then Dante, your dad called me today. It was nice to talk to him, and sounds like he's going to be booking a private charter for you and him, and I think it's two of your nieces or nephews, and I'm not sure of your sister, but it sounded like he wanted to take the grandkids fishing. And then he was also asking me about some of the old shows that your dad was on years ago. So I told him to tell you, or I told him I would tell you, to go here on my YouTube channel, find out from your dad what boats he was on, and then just do a search for those boats. And maybe you can see them there. I don't know if I have any of those old shows from like Nicaragua and stuff on here. I don't think I do because that was a series I did for PBS. But yeah, see if they're on there. Your dad wanted to see them, so I'm sure there's some here. So you guys are talking about kayaks. So Dr. Henry, what? Dolphin halibut tournament. So you say dolphin, you must be East Coast because we call them Garibaldi here. I mean, we call them Garibaldi. We call them Dorado here, or Mahi Mahi in Hawaii. 'Cause in the East Coast, they call Dorado. Um, they call Dorado. What do you call it? Dolphin or dolphin fish. Anytime we say dolphin here, everybody thinks we're talking about flipper. Okay, Eric F. Thank you. You are in the hat. Terry says I need the link for the raffle tickets for the kids. Okay, let me find that. There it is. Here is the raffle ticket for the kids. This is for the chance to win a private charter with me to Catalina. Tony, do you have any of your sponsored trips target Do you have any of your sponsored trips target squid or thresher sharks? Thresher sharks you don't normally do on a TV filming trip. Thresher sharks is something we could target on a private charter. Makos would be even easier to target. We can go look for makos and stuff, but we don't have anything like that on the TV filming trips. On the TV filming trips, we normally have anywhere from 15 to 50 people on the boat, so you couldn't really target that. And the squid, that's only when those giant Humboldt squid are around, so that's when they go fish for those. But they haven't been around luckily for the last couple of years. Hey, do any of you know where you can buy cleaned squid for eating? Like ring squid already cleaned. I did a little video the other day of cleaning squid, but all the squid I got from Nachos was really small. I mean, not small, but yeah, it is kind of small. And I was looking for some bigger squid to make some, do a cooking segment. And I saw on the internet they're talking about on some cooking segments that the guys went and bought the squid from the market. So I've been to two markets out here, two Albertsons, and they don't sell raw squid, unseasoned or anything like that, all clean. So just thought I'd throw it out there, see if any of you guys know. I think if I go to Asian market, I might have a better chance. Okay, what's the other question up here? I know I'm way behind, so let me see if I can find some answer some other questions. Yeah, Joe, the weather looks really good for Sunday. Looks like it might even be good for Saturday. Tony, when does the Hawaii show start? I'll be there in March. Okay. Tony, it starts this week, I think, or it started last week. I sent them over, was it 10 episodes um, over 2 weeks ago? So I just got the signed contracts back this week. So everything is there. All right. So Kevin says Asian markets. I will try that. Let me see what else. Ronnie, what's your opinion on yoke steering wheels? I've never tried one, I don't think. I don't know. Wild times, fishermen don't drink. Okay. This is water. I tell you, the one fish I never didn't think would ever taste good was mackerel, and I did have when Larry was alive. Kevin's cousin that's here. His mom made pickled mackerel, Spanish mackerel. She would take Spanish mackerel and pickle them, and I tell you, they were delicious. I couldn't believe how good they taste. I've had Pacific mackerel a couple times. I'm not even sure they're Pacific mackerel because I was in Europe and they were serving them at a place I was at a couple times. It was okay, but it wasn't that good. I don't know. Ooh, Andreas caught a nice sized catfish. That's cool. In Fullerton. Colton, have you ever hooked one of those big Goliath groupers? I might have hooked one in Florida one time. I fished down there a couple of times and I hooked something that I couldn't stop because we were fishing lighter line. So I don't know if it was one of those or if it was just a big shark, but we never stopped it. Gerald, how about rods for your offer up? Do you ever use downriggers on your boat? I've set up my boat last year for downriggers because I wanted to try it for trolling over the horseshoe kelp, try and putting lines down around 70 feet, 60 feet, and see how that would work. But I haven't done it yet. So this spring, I hope to do that. So we'll see. Okay. So we got a few people here that got cards. You have tickets coming. Let me get your tickets. Okay, let me see who's got tickets here. Raymond. Yeah, if you guys are thinking about going fishing Sunday, I would think about it. I mean, it looks pretty good. Okay, what's Joe asking here? Joe says $500. $500 includes the flight, or is that separate? Yeah, no, the $2,800 is for Alaska is the package of the trip. It doesn't include any flights. Nobody includes any flights because they don't know where you're coming from. They have people coming from all over the country, and they even have people coming from Europe, Hawaii. So none of the places include airfare. I mean, even the resorts in Mexico don't even include airfare. Okay, Raymond, thank you. Sanchez. Thank you, guys. You're in the hat. Matt. Um, okay, so Dr. Harry is asking where the tickets for. So, Dr. Harry, down below where you see the dollar sign where it says say something, that's called super chat. So, what we're doing is if you make a donation to super chat, like you see there, Matt made a $5 one, Raymond made a $4.99 one. The super chat, any super chat you do, gets you in a drawing, and everything here is in tonight's drawing. So you buy a ticket for $4 or $5, and you have a chance to win that. So all these lures here are over $5 each. So you get that. So that's what it is. It's just when I started doing this, Doc, back in March when COVID first started, and then after a few months of doing it, the guy said, "Why don't I do a drawing or something to help make a little bit of money for myself?" And we tried that for a little while, and then some of the guys were suggesting, "Why don't I do a super chat?" I had no idea what a super chat was or is, so I had to look it up on Google and YouTube, and I found out what it is. So I qualified it because I have almost 20,000 subscribers. So that's why we started the super chat. So everybody there that's putting up a little bit of money is just be supportive to me to help me out. So that's what that is. Okay, Thomas, let me get you a ticket. Thomas Carbarone. And then Dr. Harry, the other thing that is out there is a raffle that we're doing. I'm putting the post up right now. It's a raffle that we're doing that's $25 a ticket, and we are giving away a free charter on my boat for 4 people to go fish with me on my boat, private charter for a trip to Catalina. All right, so that's what that's for. J90. Dan, how many yards of braid do you have on your bait casters for saltwater? I don't know how many yards exactly I have on there, but what I did on my, I don't have anything of them here, but pretend this is a low profile reel. This is a bass reel. This is what I used to fish with when I fished calico bass and stuff. I still use this reel for fishing the breakwater when I'm throwing stick baits like this. When I fish a breakwater in my small boat, I like to use something like this. I have a little 18, 17 foot skiff in the backyard, and this is what I would fish on the breakwater with. So I would use like that Daiwa reel for that. And on that, I just fish straight mono. But on my low profile reels, I put 50-pound Spectra, and I leave enough room to get at least 75 yards of 25-pound mono on there. So on some of the reels, I have like 100 yards of mono on there. And I just learned because I I lost so many fish in a couple of years in a row, fishing straight Spectra and then just putting a small piece of Top Shot. And I'd hook these nice yellows and white sea bass, and the line would just break. Knots would blow up. So now I add a long piece of monofilament. I let that monofilament work like a shock absorber, and I don't lose the fish like I used to lose. Okay. Jeff, what's the tomcod thing? Is that a fish that you wouldn't eat? I've never eaten a tomcod, so I don't know. I've caught lots of them, but I've never eaten one. Also, I see Rodney talking about baits for catfish. So you guys are talking about that. I guess Andreas said he caught his catfish on Nightcrawler on a Carolina rig. I use the Carolina rig a lot when I'm fishing in lakes for trout and for catfish. But the best bait I've seen work at our kids' events is people using shrimp. They use shrimp and then they dip it in that stink bait, stinkier the better. And they do that. I know some guys would even leave the shrimp outside for a couple of days and just make it smell even worse and use it. But yeah, shrimp with stink bait. For our kids' event, we call them M&Ms. They use marshmallows with mealworms, and that's what the kids normally catch catfish on. Especially in these little city ponds, lakes like Leg Lake and stuff. It's really good to use marshmallows to get your bait off the bottom a little bit. So that works out good. Tony, daughter number 2 is getting married in May. I was all in for the Alaska trip until daughter number 3 announced she's getting married in June. You need to talk to your kids about spacing out their marriages. How can they get married a month apart? I don't know. I don't have kids, so I can't say anything. I don't know. Dr. Harry, what are these donations or tickets for? Okay, so the raffle ticket for the super chat, that's for me, personally, for me. Helps me with groceries and all the other stuff I need to do during these COVID times. The raffle ticket that I put the post on, and here it is again, that is strictly for my youth foundation. So my youth foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. Um, we can write you a letter if you need a letter for a tax write-off, so you can do that. Or if you want to write a check, you can call my office and arrange that. But the Youth Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. So, yeah, you can go ahead and write that off. And we haven't been able to do any fundraisers or any events for a year now because of COVID. So, we're just trying to get creative with ways that we can raise money. And one of my viewers was kind enough to pay for the Catalina trip, and he said go ahead and use it for as a fundraiser, and we're hoping we can generate a few $1,000s from it. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully we get $3,000 or $4,000 to the Youth Foundation. So that'd be great. So hopefully I explained that. Hey, Greg Silks. Oh, let me give you guys the good news. My dad got his test results. My dad got his cancer test results Tuesday, and the radiation did really good. His number is almost a 0. He came way down. So he's relieved. My mom's relieved. Everybody's good. The other good news is that they got a phone call today from the doctor's office, from Kaiser, I guess that's who they're with, that they're scheduling they're setting them up, since they're both in their 80s, to go get their vaccine. So they're going to be getting their COVID vaccine soon. I'm hoping it's this week, but probably not because tomorrow's Friday. But hopefully they get them in there really quick. So the good news is my dad, I don't want to say he's cancer free, but his numbers are so low that it's almost not an issue anymore. He doesn't have to do any more radiation. He never had to do chemo. So that's good. So I'm really excited. And I'm hoping he feels good enough that he can go with me to Alaska in June. That's part of the reason I set up the Alaska trip. Because last time I went, well, that's not true. I went to Alaska a couple times after I took him. But the last place he ever went to Alaska was the Shelter Cove Lodge. And every time we talk about Alaska, he talks about how much fun he had there. So that's where we're going back to that lodge. It's a great lodge, great food. So we're doing that. Jeff says April needs more hot dogs. Wants hot dogs. April. April. There you go. Everybody wants to see you. Here she comes. I made a mess in the kitchen. I brought her dry dog food in from the backyard because it's supposed to rain really hard here pretty soon. And I put it in the kitchen, which it's never in the kitchen. And when I was coming over here to get ready and grabbed her hot dog from the refrigerator, I kicked her bowl thing. So her hard dog food is all over the kitchen floor. So she's running between here to have her hot dog and the kitchen to eat all of her dry dog food that's laying there on the kitchen floor by my refrigerator. So that's good news. Okay, so I see some of you guys are educating the doctor. Thank you. Okay, so Jeff is saying that mackerel is really edible, but you just have to bleed it and cook it immediately. All right, I'll try that. What I want to do soon, I might even do it Sunday. I want to go catch some sand dabs to cook up to do some cooking because people I want to start cooking some fish that people normally don't want to keep when I do my private charters. So I want to just every once in a while when we're sculpin fishing, we'll hook a couple of sculpin when we drift over the spot, get outside the spot. So I'm going to try to see about doing some cooking segments on stuff that people don't normally want to eat. So I want to do some sand dabs. Okay, so Andreas is still talking about his catfish. That's good. Crappie my jack smelt. I've never cooked jack smelt. Is it good? Have you guys ever cooked opali? I've never had opali, and I always see the guys at the breakwater fishing for them. They just use a long rod with. They don't even cast it out. You just like poke it out there, and they catch them. I catch them on the back of my boat, but I've never tried it. Sounds like it's starting to rain here. Okay, so is it Oscar? Oscar? I don't know how you Ozker. Where are the more child friendly jetties like Newport? I don't like taking the little ones to the pier because they can't see over it. Tyler, can you help them with that? Tyler is Sanchez. Tyler is a younger guy who fishes a lot of piers and jetties, and he'd probably know a good one. I tell you what might be really good for you to do with the, I'm not sure how little the little ones are, but try surf fishing. And if you go surf fishing around Belmont Pier and Long Beach, like Cherry Beach, stuff like that, there's no waves at all because of the jetty and the breakwater. So you don't have to worry about any waves knocking the kids down. So that might be a good place to go take them. And they can walk around the beach there a little bit, cast out, use a small grub if they want to just cast and cast and cast. Or you could set them up with a little, stick bait, something like this, and just let them practice casting a lot. And they might get lucky. They might hook a halibut. There's halibut in there. I've caught halibut drifting that beach on my boat a few times. But I know guys catch halibut right there on the beach. So you could do that. So that would be my suggestion. Yeah, you guys need to hit the like. I have over 80 people here and only 60 likes. Okay, I see Tyler's already helping you there. Okay, good. Thank you, Tyler. So Mossback says 99-cent wrench markets. All right, cool. Yeah, that 99-cent market is close to my office. I'm I'm off of Artesia, just about. Okay, so crappie Mike is Jack Smile good? I mean, I see you say that you've had them all, but I'm just wondering, is it good? Tyler says Jack Smile is like saltwater trout. Okay. Edwin, hey Dan, are you planning on fishing this weekend? I'm thinking about going fishing Sunday. I don't know if I don't think I have a charter. A lot of people don't want to charter when the weather's like this. They're afraid of the weather, but I'm looking at the forecast. The forecast looks really nice. Jeff's taking his boat all the way down um, to Colonet, so I'm sure the weather's going to be good, or you wouldn't be going that far. Yeah, so Andreas says Cherry Beach in Long Beach has lots of halibut. That might be a good place to take the kids. Just let them cast a lot and then hold on when they hook a big halibut. Rocket Dog is back in the ticket in the raffle drawing. He won on Tuesday night. Thanks, James. That's a good point. James says he likes to hit the like button before he starts chatting. Thanks. Greg S. I'm joining late tonight. Just got in from duck hunting. Booked on the Gale Force trip. Okay. Cool. So when you sign up on the Gale Force trips, make sure you sign up on the trips that have my name there, that I'm going to be there. So I'm still working on confirming my dates for my filming trips. I just reached out to a few boats today. I haven't heard back from anybody yet. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, Kevin, you're the only person in that family that doesn't eat fish. I never understood that. As much as you love to go fishing, you don't eat fish. And then I don't know if you ever heard the story, Kevin, where I think Larry was sick or out of town or something for New Year's, and his mom wanted. This was way before he ever got sick. I mean, had his heart problems and all that. His mom wanted for New Year's. She always had a traditional um, dish she made where she made cow cod and put it whole cow cod and put it in the center of the table, like a centerpiece, I guess you call it. And I didn't know that she did it as a centerpiece. I thought, she wanted it just to cook up to feed everybody. So I went out on the blackjack on a deep water rockfish trip back when we fished 600-800 feet all the time, and to catch a big cow cod. And I caught a monster. I don't know, this thing was like 20 pounds, 18 pounds. It was a monster cow cod. So I took it over to her, all cleaned and whole, just gill and gutted. And she was all upset. She was like, I don't have anything that big to cook it. So I didn't know that she was cooking it whole and using it for a centerpiece. So she wasn't happy with me because I think the smallest cow cod I brought her that day was like 12 or 15 pounds. And she wanted something small that she could cook whole. I guess she would have probably wanted a red snapper. But they told me cow cod, so I went big. So I blew it. That was funny. Only time I got in trouble for bringing home too big of a fish. Okay, Brent, thank you very much. Brent. Enter. Okay. Tony, thank you very much. Okay, guys, it's probably like the 5-minute warning if you want to get a ticket. Let's kind of do that soon. Get Tony Alvarado here. Joe, I think that's your second ticket already. Thank you, Joe. Adler Outdoors, thank you. And then Jack. Where is April tonight? April's been here all show. April. April. Your fan club's asking for you. Come on. Come say hello. Yeah, Jeff, I haven't had cow cod in a long time since we haven't been allowed to fish that deep water in a long time. Okay, Jack has a ticket. Gerald, thank you very much. And then tomorrow, too, I'm sure a lot of you heard here in Southern California, here in LA County, the restaurants open up. Bars and restaurants open up, outdoor dining only. So everyone's excited about that. Andreas, we have two things with tickets. The ones that I'm doing right here that the guys are buying, like Tony Alvarado's ticket here. That's for this stuff here. So this is the daily kind of drawing thing that we do, and that's it's the super chat down below. So anytime you do a super chat like Jack and Gerald just did, you get a ticket. And I have this whole roll, so hopefully I can use these all up one day. So the other thing that we're doing is the raffle for the private charter, and that's a link I just put up. So that one, you buy it off my Youth Foundation website, and that's dancekids.org, or you can use that link. It'll take you right there. And that's a $25 ticket for a chance to win a private charter to come fish with me on my boat and 3 of your friends. So 4 people on my boat to go fish at Catalina. And I have all the fishing gear, bait, me and the deckhand. One of the guys that's here on the super chat from Central California was kind enough to pay for it. And he said use it as a fundraiser because he knew that we were having a hard time raising money for my youth foundation this year because we're just closed down. We can't do any fundraisers. There's no Fred Hall shows where we normally do most of our fundraising. There's no swap meets that we normally do. So because of that, we're really restricted on what we can do. So he was kind enough to pay for the trip, paid the $1,600 for the trip, and we're raffling it off right now. So I'm very appreciative that I have supporters like that, and it all came from here, from doing these YouTube lives. So I've got to meet some nice people because of that, and because so many of you are coming here to do the YouTube live. That's why I decided to book all those trips on the Gale Force. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of trips on the Gale Force this year, where they're open. Just hopefully, mainly it's going to be you guys, the YouTube people here. So the first trip is May 18th. They're going to be on the third Thursday of the month for most months. There is one month that it has to be at the end of the month, the 4th Thursday of the month. But I just put a link there for that. So, all you guys that are here, I did one of the trips on the Gale Force. Oz showed up, a couple of other people showed up, and it was really nice. I got to see the people who are here talking, so and chatting with me. So it was nice to fish with them and all that. So Andreas wants to know, do you think the next kids event will happen at Choice? I don't know, because normally we do that event in June. So I don't know if they're going to let us do it this year. Yeah, Tyler, if I would have known she was going to use the fish for a centerpiece, I would have brought her a smaller fish. Because they have a big family. I mean, Kevin can tell you they have a big family. Larry had a bunch of brothers and one sister, and then a lot. They were all married except for the sister and Larry. So the other two brothers were married, and then they all had, their kids, and then their daughters and their sons, boyfriends, girlfriends, and their kids. So there was many generations that would show up there. So she would feed them, and then everybody would bring food too. So I thought they wanted the cow cod to feed everybody. I didn't know. Yeah, John, I got your raffle ticket. Thank you. So who didn't I get? Got Gerald, got Adler, got another one. Thank you. Okay, Kiwi I don't have yet. So let me get Kiwi. I got Kiwi, Oz, thank you. Todd says he's here from Belgium. Thank you. Normally we have one guy here from Scotland. He's not here today. So Calico says he was on a charter and wasn't allowed to keep the cow cod. Yeah, you're not even supposed to be fishing in an area where there's cow cod. They don't let you go down that deep. But next year we can fish 600 feet, or this year I should say we get to fish 600 feet. So there's a chance you might hook some cow cods by accident. Leo, what beer do you drink? Cold. James, need to put doggy bed in the background. Okay. April doesn't come here. She wouldn't come here to lay in the bed. She comes here because there's hot dogs. If I left a container of hot dogs back there, she'd stay there the whole time. Yeah, it sounds like it's starting to rain pretty good there outside now. Well, that's cool. Jeff says he had a cow cod when he was down in Mexico. They stuffed it with crab meat. So you take crab meat with you when you go fishing. That's cool. All right, so Jackie's asking about when you catch a fish at 600 feet and you bring it up and you have to release it. There's actually some good videos, Jackie, that you can see. I think they're probably on YouTube where they use descenders and they drop the fish down, 300, 500 feet, and you see the eyes and everything go back into the fish. So I don't know how it doesn't kill them, but it seems like the descender works really good. And I've seen some of those videos, so that's what I would say. Tom B. Okay, Tom B. Thank you very much. Yeah, but those descenders work pretty good. I've seen in quite a few videos. And if you guys are going to be rock fishing, remember you have to have a descender rigged on your boat to use, so you can release the fish. If you don't have that, you will get a ticket from Fishing Wildlife. Lewis says, sorry I'm here late. No problem. So I got Oz ticket. Lee, Dan, have you ever fished on the Royal Star? Yes, I have. Years ago, we did 2 shows on that boat. Great boat. And the classic is the Royal Polaris. The Excel is a great boat, big boat. The only boat I haven't been on, well, there's 2 boats I haven't been on, but one of them I'd really like to get on is Enterprise. Not the Enterprise, the Independent. I'm sorry. I've been on the Enterprise many times. Uh, so, John, the tradition for New Year's is don't eat the centerpiece fish. So, after, like, you eat the fish the next day, so you don't mess it. I mean, don't they eat the fish, or is that the last fish that gets eaten? I don't know what the traditions are. I blew it that one year that I was asked to bring the centerpiece fish, and I didn't know it was a centerpiece fish. Larry's mom had asked me to bring her a cow cod, whole, not filleted, and I didn't know that was it. Jeff, I don't know what that rod holder is. I'll have to look it up on Amazon. I try not to shop on Amazon just because I want to try to support all the local stores. Okay, yeah, and like Jeff's talking about those videos where you can see it done. Don't see fish getting bullied down there. Doug, where do I live? I'm in Long Beach, North Long Beach. Not too far from the airport, but far enough apart from the airport that I don't hear the planes really. It's raining good here, guys. It is raining really good here. I can hear really good outside. Now we lost a few people. We were at 100 a little while ago. Now we're down to 90. Uh, James, does all watercraft have to have a descender? You only have to have a descender if you're going to be rock fishing. If you're fishing, close to the beach and you're halibut fishing, calico bass fishing, you don't have to have one. But if you get out there in the deeper water and you're going to be rock fishing, you have to have it. Yeah, if you don't have one, you could get a big ticket. Okay. Okay, Oz, I didn't catch the second ticket, so I got you now. Thank you. There's your second ticket. There's Adler Outdoors. This is like his 4th ticket. Thank you very much. So, Kevin, with the centerpiece, if it's a lobster or a fish, the family doesn't eat it that night. They eat it the next day. I think that's what John says. Oh, okay, I see. So John explained it here. You can eat the fish later, but they want everybody to see the whole fish. All right. So I learned, but it's too late now to make it well because everybody's passed away. Larry and his mother. Dante. Yeah, you would have loved that dinner. Like they would invite me over to go over. They had like a family card night and game night. So like the guys would sit around the kitchen table and I forgot what the name of the game was they played. And then the girls and the other younger kids would go in the front room and they would play other board games and all that. And anytime they invited me to come over, I would go because they had the best food. There was a lot of sushi, a lot of sashimi, great rice, and then all kinds of other dishes that I never, living in a Mexican house, you never get that kind of food, that kind of opportunity. So that was always good. Matt says, stop giving tickets to cheap people. Yeah, I think we're gonna set like a minimum, like $3.99 or something, starting next week, like 99 cents. I don't know. Thomas, I would love to go tuna fishing, but I don't have. Well, Thomas, that's how you get experience. You go on those trips, and it would be really good if if you don't have the experience on a trip like that, come on one of my filming trips, and if you don't have the right hooks or the right jigs or whatever, you're welcome to fish out of my tackle box. And if you don't have the right rods and reels, you can rent them there at the landing. I wouldn't suggest you invest a lot of money. Don't spend a couple $1,000s getting rods and reels for all the bigger fish. Take what you have for the school size fish, something to catch a 20 to 30 pound fish. You probably already own that gear. You may not know it, but you probably already own that gear. And then for the bigger fish, you can always rent something there. So we can do that. But yeah, those are great ways to do it. Kevin just sent me a picture. This is a picture Kevin sent me of my dad and me together with one of his big white sea bass we caught on the gale force that day. So that's pretty cool. Thanks, Kev. And if you haven't caught tuna before, something that would be good would be catch some yellowtail. You catch some yellowtail, you pull on yellowtail. That'd be good practice for catching tuna. Jason, when's the best time for a new timer, first timer to catch tuna, to go tuna fishing? When I'm on the boat. Just come on one of my charters. We'll probably start in August. We might even start in July, and you can come fish with me. So we'll do that. I'll let you guys decide, make some suggestions what you think the minimum should be. If you think it, maybe I'll do a raffle. I mean, I'll do a poll question here. Um, I'll put a poll up tomorrow here on my YouTube channel and ask you what should the amount be for super chat, and see what you guys say. So if it should be $2, $5, $1, we'll see. Tony, is a roller tip rod necessary for fish 600 pounds? Oh, for 600 feet. Um, Probably not necessary, but it'd probably be a good idea to have it. All the old rockfish sticks I mean, rock cut sticks we used to use were all like that. They all had that. So Crappie Mike, you used to go on the GW on, what do they call that? The barge boat, right? I mean, I remember that boat. I grew up fishing on that boat, and that was after the barge had been closed down and moved. They started a boat they called, I think they call it the harbor boat, and it's like what Crappie Mike's talking about. So the boat would only go, it couldn't go more than like 100 yards past the breakwater was the deal. Like they couldn't compete with the half day boats or anything like that. Um, so they would fish mainly the breakwater and drift inside the harbor and stuff like that. But yeah, the GW, that brings back a lot of memories. That's really, I learned a lot about fishing on that boat. That was pretty cool. Yeah, they call it the mobile barge. But yeah, but back then I think it was just called the, yeah, maybe it was called the barge boat or something like that. I forget what it's called. Tyler, on the Annie B, we caught bonita, mackerel, halibut. Every once in a while, somebody would hook a shark and see sharks get caught, bat rays, sand bass, every once in a while, calico bass. A lot of bonita fishing. We used to have a lot of bonita back in the day, back then. So it was good. Lewis says hello from Valley Pedestrian Hospital. Thank you. Hello. Lloyd says a $2 minimum. Yeah. If you guys are really thinking about going tuna fishing and you've never done it before, I would really recommend you join me on some of these trips, like on the Gale Force, the Enterprise, some of those trips that are going to go to Catalina, where you have a good chance of catching a yellowtail. You catch a couple of yellowtail, you catch some bonita, you learn the basics on how to lift the rod and wind down, some basic fishing techniques, and you'll be in good shape when you start fishing for tuna. It's basically the same. Now, what Jeff does on his boat, going for 300-pound tuna, 200-pound tuna, that's a whole different level. First timers don't even think about doing that. But for the smaller fish, that school size, 20, 30-pound yellowtail, even yellowtail up to 100 pounds, you don't have to have a lot of experience. You just, you need to learn the basic technique of how to lift the rod up and how to wind down, lift the rod up. And once you learn that kind of stuff, it makes it really easy. Brandy wants to know, Brady wants to know, what pound line do you use for tuna? And again, it depends on what you are fishing for. If you're fishing for school sized fish, you're using 20 and 25-pound tests. If you're fishing for like 40-pound fish, you're normally using like 30 to 40-pound tests. A lot of 100-pound fish I've caught, I was fishing 50-pound test line, 60-pound test line. So, it's just a lot of technique. And that was one of the things I enjoyed about fishing, was it was one of those things that I could compete. And I don't mean like compete like, like who's going to, it was just one of those things I could do with my dad and fish, for bonita and all that on the breakwater and whatever we did. We used to fish the jetty a lot at Long Beach, where the San Gabriel River comes into the ocean. And that's where I learned how to catch, fish. Well, use dead anchovies with a spinning reel. Take a spinning reel, 20-pound test line, cast out with a live bait hook and no sinker, and just let that anchovy drift down. And bonita would come through and eat them. And you'd walk up and down the rocks following your fish. And that's how I learned a lot about pulling on fish and bringing the fish in. And, the more you practice that kind of stuff, the easier it is when you go tuna fishing. So, yeah, there isn't really like 1-pound test line that you're going to use. When I go tuna fishing, I use anywhere from 20-pound up to 100-pound. It just depends on the size of fish that we're catching. And I take rods for that too. Greg S. Thank you very much. All right, guys, this is the last call. I've been on an hour and a half, which it doesn't feel like it, but I still got some stuff I got to get done tonight. Thank you very much. So Tony Bean's talking about a 2.5-day trip he did and a 10-day trip he did on the Independence of Captain Paul Strauser. First time I fished with Paul Strauser, he was a deckhand on, what was Russ's boat called? The First String. He was a deckhand there. And then when I was writing for Western Outdoor News, it was back then. And then right after that, Paul and his buddy, Paul and I can't remember their names. Well, the two of them own part of the landings now, but Paul and his partner bought a boat that's now the half-day boat out of 22nd Street. Somebody will remind me. That boat just got sold again. Paul Strauser and Mark Pisano. That's it. Those are the names. Mark Pisano. All right. All right. So who else is here that I need to get? Yeah, Tyler, that's a good point. Bat rays are a good practice fish too. So everybody's saying $5 for. Okay, I think we'll do that. I think we'll do $5. We'll see. Jeff says maybe $4. Let me see. Yeah, today's going to be the last day that we're going to do the 99-cent tickets. We're going to set a minimum here. Okay, Manuel gets a ticket. And then I'm going to pick a winner. Manuel C. Jason. All right, Jason says he wants to come fishing with us. So, Jason, do you still live in Washington, or do you just moved down here? Is it Gaspar? Because we do have guys that are up in Washington and Oregon that fish with me out of Emeryville. But I don't know if they've ever fished with me down here, down south. Jason. Gaspar. Cool. April, come get your last hot dog. April. Jeffrey. Got a ticket. Lewis, good night. Kurt, hello. Oh, you are the reason I discovered. Is it Karen? Carmen? Karim. You're the reason I discovered boat fishing in California. When I moved here, I used to wake up early and watch your show. But you can still wake up early. Jack, that's the name of the boat, Monte Carlo. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. Lloyd. Jeff, how much does it cost to fish with me? Depends what trip you get on. Okay, so Jason's up in Washington. All right, cool. It depends what trip you go with me. If you go with me on a twilight trip, it's like $50. If you go with me on a limited load Catalina trip, it's like $150. Um, we do have some trips that are in between. I think like the Enterprise is like $95, something like that. And then we have trips like tuna trips, multi-day trips that could be anywhere from $250 to $500, depending on how far it is. All right. Jeffrey says do $2 on Tuesday. Oh, so Dr. Mr. Wheelchair Preacher says made it when you're on live. Cool. Your show has helped me through many mornings blood work in the hospital. Sorry you have to go do blood work in the mornings in the hospital, but I'm glad I'm able to help you out. Thank you very much. That's pretty good. So Callie 310 just joined us. Hello. Thanks, guys. We're back over 100 again for a little while there, so I appreciate it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, especially all you new guys, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 20,000 as soon as possible. And so James asking what's biting out there. There's calico bass or sand bass. My last trip, we hooked some calico. We hooked some white sea bass. So we did that. Black sea bass, I mean. And of course, we released them. We didn't keep them. Yeah, please subscribe, guys. And then here is my offer up pages. Andreas, am I doing any half day? The only half day trips I have coming up are on my boat. So if you guys want to do some open, if you guys want to do an open party half day trip, I think I posted a couple of dates in February on my website. So some of you guys can sign up there and come join me on that. Here comes April. Say goodbye. So on those ones, you can just buy one spot and you don't have to charter the whole boat. So we'll see. Yeah, no, Jeff has great advice if you guys want to talk about tuna fishing. Well, I mean, all kinds of fishing, but he is pretty much our tuna expert here. That's good. And Tyler has great advice, pier fishing and jetty fishing and all that too. And I'm sure Crappie Mike and Jeff can both answer all your crappie fishing questions because Jeff does a lot of that. Lloyd does a bunch of fishing. And it's kind of nice. I kind of met a lot of you guys all through here. Yeah, James, anytime you're fishing in the ocean, even in San Francisco Bay or any bay in saltwater, you need an ocean enhancement stamp. Yes, you do. Okay. All right, guys, let's pick out the winner. So we've got your tickets in here. April, you gonna come say hi to everybody last time? Maybe not because you already ate. Oh, Kiwi got his boater's card. Yeah, guys, if you didn't know that, you need to have a boater's card to rent a boat in the water now. So make sure you get that. All right, here's the winner. Tom B. Tom B is the winner tonight. Tom B. I think it's his first time winning. Okay, Tom, so what you need to do is email me. And I don't know if you have my email address, but I'm going to post it for you right here. And email me there, your mailing address, info, and I'll send this off to you either Monday or Tuesday. And we'll get it to you. Congratulations. You guys are asking about fishing with me. Private charter, so Rockfish is closed, but we can go fish for calicos and sand bass. We can go fish for sculpin. So, night, Jeff. Thank you very much. So there's a link there, guys, if you guys are interested with fishing with me on a private charter. All right. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support and you guys being here. Be well, everybody.